Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Pisces. If Pisces is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Four of Wands, which has everything to do with completion. Okay, and we're going to see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. And if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And I'm just going to say right before I start, I apologize if my voice sounds bad. If I sound a little strange, if I sniffle, if I cough, I have come down with the thing we're not allowed to say out loud. The algorithm doesn't like it, I guess. But yes, I have the thing, and it's gone through the family, and my ear is all plugged up, and I probably sound a little bit just kind of cruddy, so I apologize. But I've had a lot of really nice messages and a lot of you telling me, oh, take a break, and I really appreciate that. And I wish I could take a little bit longer of a break, but this is my work, and we all have to work and pay the bills. So here I am. But I am the thing that's interesting, though, about being sick, and this is always my favorite, maybe only part I love about being sick, is that the dreams, the impressions, the visions are so strong. I feel like I just have been so connected to spirit lately. It just is flowing. And I think it's because you get knocked out of your routine. You're just really forced to slow down a little bit, right? So I will say that's one nice part there. Okay, so we have, it looks like the Fool right here. You can see kind of in this position of standing on one leg, this leg up, kind of a little bit of whimsy, or being kind of without a care, standing above this hill here, or on top of the hill, I should say. Now, above it, it looks like we have the scorpion. I was going to say the Scorpio. It's maybe not a Scorpio, but we have a scorpion, and you can see it kind of has these two claws going this way, or legs, I should say, and it's stinger up here. Okay, now it also looks like somebody's kind of sitting right here on top of the scorpion. So this is really interesting. I feel like there's a lot of consciousness towards this feeling of some kind of maybe it is a Scorpio person in your life, or maybe you yourself have prominent Scorpio placements. Maybe there are attributes of the scorpion that really resonate with you, or a person that is important in your life. Okay, so I really feel like when I think about the scorpion, this is, a creature, yes, poisonous. Yes, you must be careful with. But also one that can live in circumstances that are often difficult. A survivor, right? Really created to live in these very arid places and thrive as well. Also can be pretty covert, stealth. Where I grew up, it wasn't in the desert, it was in the valley, kind of up against the foothills in California. And we would have to shake out our shoes. We would keep shoes outside, some of them, but you would have to shake your shoes out every time, just to make sure that you didn't put your foot in a place where they were hiding. And so I feel like there is a sense of a little bit of secretiveness, okay? But I also feel like it is really met with this full energy of I just want to let go of all of that. I'm kind of done with it. All of these secrets and the mystery of whatever it is. And I feel like it could be something to do with family. Kind of these, very, hush hush, we don't talk about that. These old things that feel like they kind of sometimes rule your conscience or consciousness, right? And it just comes up at the most random times, right? Something will trigger it, and you think, maybe it's a learned behavior that you just don't tell people a lot of things. You don't talk about, in family problems or situations, financials, whatever it is. But at the same time, it's like carrying around a lot of weight. It can become, sometimes when we put these things in these dark places, and this is not in like shadow work, right? We put these things, these collective secrets into dark places. They grow into shame, guilt, different kind of complexes and personality issues, disorders sometimes. And so I feel like, this has been something that it's hard. It's hard to navigate. Sometimes it's like I have to honor my family's wishes. At the same time, it's so much to be expected of somebody, and especially as we get older and the people who are involved start to transition. And I do see we have a rocking chair here that is empty. Okay, and I see that we have another person here who is kind of walking away. And it makes me think that maybe there has been somebody, maybe a grandparent, great-grandparent, that, everybody kind of followed the lead. These are family issues. These are family secrets. We don't talk about them. It's nobody's business. We don't tell people in the community, whatever. We all have these things in our families. I think this is not uncommon. And so, as, these people, the players in these issues start to, transition, as I said, or, they just get into their elder years and things change and they soften and, the world changes. That's the other factor. The world has changed a lot, where there has been a lot of stigma. We have gotten to a place where we do talk about things a little bit more. Okay. And, if it's mental health, addiction, family abuses, traumas, these kinds of things, right? Poverty, and so on. These are things that I think we're more willing to discuss. And some of the older people in our family, the parts of our community that are aging, I think have come to places where some of them are less holding on to keeping things like, having a facade, right? And so I feel like with the full energy, I feel like this is kind of like breaking those chains, allowing yourself to let go of some of that poison, right? Now, are you going out and shouting it off the rooftops? Maybe not. Maybe just talking to a therapist, maybe, a friend, a confidant, your lover, your spouse, whoever. But there's something about uttering things that, just finally saying it, it takes away some of the power, you know. And a couple of years, I guess it's been 2 years now, I myself, who in my childhood was a victim of abuse. SA was what we're supposed to say on the internet. And something that I did not talk to anybody about, you know, this particular situation. And I carried it with me. I envisioned it as kind of this black egg that just lived in my chest, in my abdomen. It was this shame that I carried with me. It was part of, you know, it grew into other behaviors and situations throughout my life. And finally, I went to a really intensive kind of therapy for people with PTSD or CPTSD. And finally found this little moment of strength where I could talk to my therapist and my husband, and just building up the bravery to be able to say the words. And there weren't many words because it was, I mean, it was just, you know, even now I could sob about it, but it changed everything for me, you know. And of course, it's not always like these big shifts in light and you're a different person or anything like that. But finally, that was my ultimate secret, you know, and I was able to say it and own it and release it, you know, open the window and let it go. And yeah, it's still painful, but it's not something that I'm scared of anymore, you know. And it doesn't, it's all relative. It doesn't have to be, you know, there are a lot of things that come up in our family secrets that we find out about, and it's like, well, why was that a secret? You know, it doesn't seem, but to whoever is holding that guilt, that shame, and it's contextual, right? It is to the time period, how it, the social implications, you know, whatever, the community around us, and our families, how they're configured, and you know, and so it just really, there's something very powerful about being able to stand in our truth, but not letting it be the thing that drives us, right? That scary monster that lives, you know, under the bed or in the closet, or the pile of dirty clothes that look scary or whatever. You know, and I will say, though, I think it's so important, especially when it's something that can be quite destabilizing, that you do have people to check in with, and you have safe people to talk with. You know, going into these places of excavating our self-mythology, our understanding of our story, our traumas, and so on, can, you know, sometimes we can really think, oh, this is going to be, you know, it wasn't that big of a deal or whatever. You get into the nitty gritty of it. You really you're looking at it face to face, and it can be very difficult, very difficult. So, you know, take care of yourself. And, you know, I don't know what exactly it is, or if this is anything that relates to you at all, but I just want you to know that you are loved, you are cared for, and I want you to do these, you know, these parts, and these are kind of our own personal heroes epics, right? And I want you to be safe in that. Okay, I want you to be comfortable in your movements. I want you to have somebody to talk to when it gets hard and overwhelming. Okay, I want that for you. All right, so let's take a look. What else is there here? We have a lot of different little things, and I have TT here. She's been eating something she shouldn't because she's letting some loose there. She's a little bit stinky tonight. Yeah, and I can actually smell a little bit. So we have a person here and we have a person here, and they are meeting face to face. It looks like they are dancing. And I see a little kind of fairy. I think of like a fairy godmother of some kind. We have a bird over here. And so, interestingly, it feels like quite a love story. We also have like a little ship down here. I see kind of a little sailboat. And I wonder if you haven't been with your person for a long time, if you haven't had the same, and you got to go, honey. I don't want you to scratch my face again. Thank you. She put her, the other day when I was doing a reading, she stuck her whole nail into my lip because she wanted me to stop moving around, or she wanted my attention or whatever it was. So we're not going to do that again. So I almost wonder if you have had the same spouse for a long time since you were young, or if this is kind of the beloved who has been with you side by side throughout your life, if this is a good friend, if this is a family member, somebody though. And I feel like, this is somebody who you have traveled the 7 seas with. You have been through it. And they are always somebody that you can trust and lean on. There is a sense of being able to laugh even when it feels quite inappropriate. But I, myself, am a big fan of things like, the gallows humor. I think it's important for us to laugh even when it's so painful, even when it is so morose and ridiculous. And that's the thing. There's, there must be some little ounce of absurdity to life, or we're doomed. Or we're doomed. And that's why you hear me laughing a lot, It takes, and this is the thing, when you hear about people who go into like comedy and are comedians and such, they always say they're the most troubled people. They have, just absolute terror of life and a lot of really sad stories and circumstances and so on. But that's it. It's the thing that gets us through. We have to laugh. We have to be able to laugh. And I think that this really is a sign of dancing and laughing. And I can just imagine almost like a waltz, and this beautiful engagement of the senses and so when I'm looking at this, I really want to challenge you to go and find something that really does touch you in that place of entertainment, of being a little carefree. We talked about the Fool energy, really letting go a little, don't spiral, but, go and maybe go see some comedy. I watch a lot of comedy on YouTube. A lot of the podcasts and stuff. My husband is like, okay, this is kind of probably getting so annoying, Lenor. But I do. And I even follow up on all of their like behind the scenes, like, all of the gossip and stuff between all these stand-up comedians and things. But it makes me laugh. It makes my life a little bit easier. It really does. So I enjoy it. And maybe going and finding something that might make you feel that way. Go see a musical. Go watch a musical. Or, if you like musicals, of course. A movie or dancing or, whatever fun things that you can think of. This is a good time to release some of that. It really is. Now, with the bird, and we have a ribbon. Oops. We have a ribbon of some kind. Okay, so some kind of survivor, maybe going through some kind of ailment or, I don't know, some kind of chronic disease or something. This could be you or somebody in your life, and this has been kind of an energy that is also kind of coloring the lens through which you are experiencing reality. And I think this is another good reason to be letting off some steam, allowing yourself to find some enjoyment. Okay. Now, with the birds, and they are the sparrows. So I am thinking that, there's a sense of bravery, of being tough, of, really holding things close to your chest at times. And I almost, I feel like it's almost this feeling of tension where it's like, if I start crying now, I'm never going to stop, but it might be a good time to find a way to cry and to laugh and to love. And no buns, not on the camera, little mama. Okay, you come up here, I'll hold you. We're almost done. Yes, and just letting some of that stuff go. Letting it out in a safe and controlled way, right? In a place that feels like I can cry, I can get it out. For me, it's watching some sad movies, maybe like a Hallmark movie or something, something that's a little ridiculous. Crying. What was I watching today? I was watching, and keep in mind, I'm very sick, so I'm extra emotional. Right now, I have a lot of Theraflu flowing through my veins, so I'm feeling pretty okay. But earlier, I was just cruddy and so emotional. I can't remember which movie I was watching now. It seems like a million years ago. Did you just burp in my face? You're silly, girl. You have been eating something you shouldn't have. I think somebody has been giving you some Cheez-Its, maybe. Okay, let's see. But yeah, I was crying. And you know what? It felt good. Because I wasn't crying about how bad I felt. Although I could have. I was like, I need to just weep for myself for a minute. Because I had to feel like not good. Okay, so we have a heart. We have a 2, but it's kind of, yeah. We also have a heart over here in the emotional waters. And we have a little bird sitting here. So there's this real focus on love. But I don't necessarily think that this is like your significant other. Although maybe they are. Maybe this is like your best friend and significant other. But somebody really close. Somebody you can say anything to. And I feel like, it just... there's this real sense of not wanting to burden, but at the same time, that you can lean on them. And I really think that it's important for you to be able to kind of let go of some of that control that you need in your life. I feel like you maybe are a person that you feel like you need to control yourself to a certain degree so you don't get too messy, right? But you have people in your life who love you. And even if you do get a little messy, you get a little emotional, you get a little BP and angry and, start, spewing all the words and they're pouring out and it just feels like, ugh, I don't want to be that person. But sometimes we got to be that person. Sometimes we do. Carrying that stuff around is what makes us sick. on all levels, physical, emotional, spiritual, energetically, all of that, you know. But we have to find ways, and this is where things like sublimation come in. And if you don't know what sublimation is, and you look it up. But you know, my barely educated version of it, interpretation, is that we take these things that are difficult, you know, our understandings, our beliefs, our feelings, our desires, our, you know, whatever it is, the violence that is within us. And listen, we're human beings. There's a violence in all of us to some degree, okay? But instead of unleashing that on the world in a way that is destructive to yourself and others, we find ways to express ourselves in a way that is, maybe it's productive, but it's purging in a non-harmful manner. Okay, or a way that is creative. A lot of times sublimation has to do with finding ways to make artworks. Maybe it's really provocative. That's okay. We need provocative art. We need things that push boundaries. You know, we need people to express the parts of ourselves that are not easy to look at. So, anyways, you know, finding ways to do that. Also, you know, I always talk about primal screaming. Now, I don't get to do it as much as I used to because it's not good for my voice. And, of course, I use my voice often. So, don't you growl me. Go on now. I will take you to bed in just a minute. If my daughter is not bossing me, it's this cat. So anyways, primal screaming, another good way to get out some of those feelings. Okay, so let's see. We have the Happier Me affirmation cards. I'm going to move you over here for a second. And just going to go ahead and flip through, stop where it feels right. It says, I have everything I need within myself. Just believe in yourself and allow yourself to grow. You have within you all of the resources you need. Yeah, I like this one. Of course I like this one. We are of the universe is of us. But I want to do one more. I want to flip through and try one more. Okay. And it's the same, kind of the same. I am always supplied with whatever I need. Take a look at your life so far and acknowledge how many things you have overcome. All because you were supplied with what you needed at the time. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, Pisces, I'm going to go to bed now. I'm off to bed, to my sick bed. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor. And I just really appreciate you all so much. Feeling extra sentimental in my fevery ways right now. And so if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. If you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next video is coming out. And it is free to subscribe. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I love hearing from you. If you're going to be mean about the cats, please don't comment. I don't want to hear it. I had so many comments about not so many, I had like 3 comments, but it felt like a lot about the cats yesterday. And they live here, you know. I'm not going to keep them out of my readings. I love them. They're my beloved beings and companions, and they are as much about this channel as I am, or you are, or whatever. So, you know, you can keep those comments to yourself, or you can go find somebody else to do your readings. That's fine too. But I'm too sick to put up with that kind of talk. TT and Pudgy are the way. All right, Pisces, I love you. Happy New Year. We're going to have a good one. We're going to have an amazing year. And so I will talk to you very soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you.